Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, as we are going down the showcase of the independents, next up we have Wrestling Revolver. Wrestling Revolver began operation in 2016. They are out of Des Moines, Iowa. Is actually owned by Impact star Sami Callihan. And so with Sami Callihan and Jon Moxley's relationship, you do see some Jon Moxley on the Wrestling Revolver, is what the company's. It's also referred to as Pro Wrestling Revolver as well. Their current Revolver champion is Steve Macklin. The PWR Pro Wrestling Revolver Remix champion is Alex Shelley. And then the PWR Tag Team champions is Dad Scout, Dan the Dad, and Jake Manning. You know Dan the Dad, every dad's favorite wrestler. During 2022, Wrestling Revolver had 92 matches on over 10 shows, 77 men, 9 women, and 6 intergender. I'm just going to run down the 20 best matches of 2022. And a lot of these showcase of the independents have been doing like 22 matches, but these 20 matches are 3 3/4 star and higher. There are 27 3.5 star matches over the year. And for me to go through and pick 2 best 3.5 star matches, I'm like, let's just stick with where it cuts off in the next star rating. Now, all the star ratings you see on Robert Sports Show are done by myself alone. If I am watching shows with the Pulse family, I will write down what I thought the star rating was. And there's times we'll talk about them and say, hey, you know, I gave it this or I gave it this. Typically, we're all within a 1/4 star of one another. So we don't, very rarely do I even change it. Now, every once in a while, you know, one of them might go, well, I was thinking like 4.5, and I might be at 4 or 3 1/4. I'm like, or 3 3/4. I'm like, 4.5? You really think so? I'll rewatch it and I'm like, oh, okay, I see where, you know, I thought it was better, actually better than I thought it was. So. But typically, most of this is stuff I've watched on my own. I star rate them, move on. All right, so number 20 comes from the Wrestling Revolver show back in January 16th, 2022. Once Upon a Time in Iowa. It was Brian Cage versus Jonah. Now, if you follow any of the Showcase of Independence, this match, Brian Cage or Jeff Cobb versus Jonah, or one of the 2 of the 3, have been a very popular match across the independent scene. It is a very good match. This one here, Brian Cage versus Jonah, I gave it 3 3/4 star with Brian Cage winning. Next up at the same show, Once Upon a Time in Iowa, we had a scaffolding and light tube match. Jake Crist versus Alex Colon. Alex Colon from Game Changer Wrestling, the king of the death matches. Scaffolding and a light tube match with Jake Crist, pretty damn good here. Alex Colon getting the victory. I gave it 3 3/4 star. Next up, we had from Revolver Cage of Horrors on July 9th, we had a tag team match. We had the Switchblades, Jon Moxley and Sami Callihan versus the American Wolves, or just known as the Wolves here, Davey Richard and Eddie Edwards. The Switchblades, Moxley and Callihan getting the victory, 3 3/4 star. At the same Cage of Horrors match on July 9th, we had a Cage of Horrors match. We had the Unit, JT Dunn, Logan James, Tyler Matrix versus the Crew, Matthew Palmer, Rich Swann, and Swerve Strickland. The Crew reunited for this show. The Unit of JT Dunn, Logan James, Tyler Matrix got the victory. I gave it 3 3/4 star. Number 16 on the list, Revolver World Heavyweight Championship. At the time, champion JT Dunn versus Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel won the title here. 3 3/4 star. Yes, this is the former X Division champion, Trey Miguel of Impact Wrestling. That happened at the season finale on December 3rd. Also at the season finale, December 3rd, we had Kenta versus Speedball Mike Bailey. We had striking at its best here. Kenta got the victory. This match actually was not as what you thought it was going to be. Even Bennett Scott says on the telecast, This was more in the crowd than it was what you thought it was going to be. You think Kenta Mike Bailey, this is going to be nothing but strikes. It really wasn't. That was weird about it. Kenta got the victory. I gave it 3 1/4. From the June 11th show, Stranger Things, we had Rich Swann versus Jordan Oliver. I'm a huge Jordan Oliver fan. I was really excited when this match was announced, and Rich Swann getting the victory did not disappoint me at all. I gave it 3 3/4 star. Next up, we have from the August 21st show, Sunday Fun Bay. So Sunday Fun Bay, we had the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, versus the two of the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. The Machine Guns getting the victory, 3 3/4 star. Number 12 on the list comes from Swerve's house. We had Swerve Strickland versus Athena. Yes, both of AEW Wrestling, Ring of Honor Wrestling. So Swerve Strickland getting the victory over Athena. I give it 3 3/4 star. At the same show, Swerve's house, we had the Revolver World Heavyweight title on the line. Champion Rich Swann versus JT Dunn. JT Dunn getting the victory there, becoming champion. I gave it 3 3/4 star. May 28th, at Vegas Vacation, we had Josh Alexander, from Impact Wrestling, versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Josh Alexander getting the victory. I gave it 3 3/4 star. Next up, at Tales from the Ring on September 17th, this was actually for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. We had champion Josh Alexander versus one called Manders of Second Gear Crew. Josh Alexander getting the victory there, retaining his title, 3 3/4 star. From Tales from the Ring, September 17th, number 8 on the list, Iowa Deathmatch. Joel Bateman versus Jake Christ. Jake Christ getting the victory. I gave it 3 3/4 star. From the same show, Tales of the Crypt, September 17th, we had Impact Wrestling X Division title on the line and a scramble match. We had Speedball Mike Bailey, Billy Starks, Chris Bay, Dante Leon, Gringo Loco, JD Griffey, KC Navarro. Now, we've seen Speedball Mike Bailey obviously in Impact Wrestling. He's Impact champion, X Division champion. Billy Stars, we've seen her in JCW. We've seen her on Impact as well. Chris Bay, Impact. Dante Leon, Game Changer Wrestling. Gringo Loco, Game Changer in AAA. JD Griffey, AEW. KC Navarro, Warrior Wrestling Revolver. I think we've seen in the Game Changer. A nice, say hodgepodge, but a nice set of scramble mates for Mike Bailey to retain his Impact title, 3 3/4 star. Next up, from Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, on November 12th, we had Swerve Strickland versus Myron Reed. Swerve Strickland got the victory. I gave it 3 3/4 star. Next up is a crossover event on May 27th. That was part of a weekend in Vegas. We had Wrestling Revolver, and that was part of Double or Nothing weekend. Future Stars of Wrestling FSW. It was FSW versus Revolver, Deuces Wild. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Matt Vandergriff. Speedball getting the victory. I gave it 3 3/4 star. Now you can find all these on Fight TV. I do actually believe they are part of the Fight Plus, where you find Game Changer Wrestling. But let's go ahead and pull it up to make sure. I don't want to lead you astray here. Yes. All of the Wrestling Revolver shows from the year are on Fight TV, part of Fight Plus. So that's $4.99 a month. You get Impact Wrestling, you get Wrestling Revolver, you get Black Label Pro, and I think there was another one there as well. Alright, so number 4 on the list, we got from January 16th, Once Upon a Time in Iowa, for the PWR Remix Championship, a Fatal 4-Way. Champion Ace Austin, part of Bullet Club. Andrew Everett, Blake Christian, and Alex Zane. We had Ace Austin retaining his PWR Remix Championship in a 4-star match. Number 3 on the list comes to December 3rd, Hell of War match. Because of the feud they had, Rich Swann and Swerve Strickland. Rich Swann winning in Hell of War in a 4-star match. Number 2 comes from Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, November 12th. This was a 30-minute Iron Man match for the PWR Remix Championship. We had Alex Shelley versus Trey Miguel, who was champion at the time. In that 30-minute Iron Man match, Alex Shelley got the victory in a 4-star match. And the very best match of Wrestling Revolver 2022 comes from the Wrestling Revolver Stranger Things, June 11th. Jon Moxley versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Mox getting the victory. I gave it 4 1/4. So that is the 20 best matches of 2022 for Pro Wrestling Revolver. Make sure you check those shows out there on Fight Plus, again along with Game Changer Wrestling. Now I will go ahead and share this with you. If you sign up, create a new email address, and go to Gmail, create a new one, and go to Fight TV. Create a new and do a new login with that new email address, and you purchase Fight Plus, $49.99 for the year. They will load 49 credits on your account, and you can go buy those shows with those credits. So just a way to kind of, if you already buy stuff on Fight TV, get a new login, you can get those all back in credits buying Fight Plus. Then you get the entire library of Fight Plus for the year for no charge. You get those points back, use those against to buy another pay-per-view or etc. You can, for instance, you can go buy Impact. What is it? Kill something another coming up. What is the name of that show? Next weekend. Hard to Kill. So you can go sign up for Fight Plus, $49.99 for the year. New login, new email. They will give you $49 in credit. You can go spend 40 of those 49 credits and get Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill. So you literally get both of those, and you get Fight Plus all year long. All right. Well, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.